So the 2024 Honda Civic Sport, this is my full in-depth review after living with the car for 1 week. And yeah, I'm going to go through everything, the good, the bad, everything around this car you see right in front of you. And yeah, I'm going to give you just a small brief summary at the start of this 30 seconds, just in case you just kind of want to know. This is a 2-litre hybrid, but it's not a plug-in hybrid. It's not an electric car. It's a full petrol. That's how you fill it up with just petrol. That's how it works. But it has all the benefits of being able to set off so silently and so clearly. Economy is really, really good as well. Honda sort of recommends around like the 60 miles per gallon real world kind of driving, which it's capable of. This particular car is 180 PS, but I know there are different variants of the Civic in different regions as well. I'm based in the UK, so that's what we kind of get here. 3 different trim models, and this is the mid-spec trim, but essentially the running gear is all the same, and the car has been absolutely brilliant. But yeah, let me get straight into it and let's go back a little bit in time of me going through some of the features that are good and bad about this Honda Civic Sport 2024. So let's go for that. So let me go through the Civic and just some of the good and the bad points kind of about it. And yeah, just my experience so far. Yeah, I've got to say, I've really enjoyed my time with it, and I didn't really expect that. I was kind of like, you know, what to expect. It's not the Type R, it's a sport. But it's been so good, and I've really been intrigued with basically about the amount of miles that I've done of what the car's been like. Yeah, looks are all kind of subjective, but I love this new design of the Civic actually. I think it's a really classy one. And yeah, if I haven't already showed it, I probably will do it later on in the video, just in terms of some of Honda's got some great sort of like driving shots of this car. The paint looks fantastic, even in the shade here. I showed it on the collection where it was just looking absolutely beautiful with the solar paint. Even here, it still looks really good. Even after a couple of 100 miles from me, it's still holding up really nicely. I do love the 18-inch alloy wheels. One thing that's a big notice for me is the fact that these 18-inch alloy wheels are on Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres. So it's not like an eco tyre, it's more of a sporty tyre, but still for road-based. It's also showing, if you can just about see down here, ZR18's 235 section. Now what that means is the tyre is actually quite wide, and I think that is generally because of the fact that, well, to be honest with you, it's the weight of the car. This car does weigh about 1.5 tonnes, so about 1,500 kilos. So the wheels have to be quite wide. Now, comparing that to say like my Golf R, my Mark 7 Golf R, which is on 18-inch wheels, that's on 225 section tyres, so slightly thinner. And that just means that the rolling resistance basically is less. It's actually slightly more agile as well in some ways in the corner. But also the tyre noise when you're getting up to speed, unfortunately, is a little bit more on a car like this because of the width of the tyre. Now, I believe that's just to enhance the grip and because of the weight of the car, but it's just something to bear in mind. Yeah, that's just one thing. I've really actually enjoyed the way it drives, and actually when I just get onto the looks, the one thing that as part of like the sport model, you get like gloss black door mirrors here, and the wheels are obviously like these diamond cut gloss black. I would love it. And actually, to be fair, even here, it's quite like a nice glossy, blacky type colour. I really noticed it, and I was chatting with my friend about this. It would be great if this was in gloss black. Now, you can get an optional pack where this is in carbon fibre, and I'll show it a little bit in the back too. But this to be in gloss black and that to be in gloss black as well, I think would just sweep better with the car, particularly with the sport model. I know looks are subjective, but I've just really noticed it. And whether or not it comes up well on camera, I'm not too sure. But yeah, basically that is just something that I feel would really benefit it. As well with the side skirts. Now again, they look great, but it's a good feeling quality as well, just touching it now. But I'd love it to be a bit more gloss black. That's just for me. You get the gloss black sort of tinted window. Now, I would love a rear spoiler. Now, you can get this carbon fibre spoiler, which is actually quite large, as the option. And that then also allows this to be in carbon fibre, which again is a little bit more higher premium. This obviously being the EHEV, looking fantastic. But again, let me know what you think about the looks. You know, it's all going to be subjective, but I think it's great. It's quite a big car. It's quite a large car. You've got loads and loads of space in the car. There's no, there's no sort of denying that. And yeah, it's a good little car. We kind of, might as well do like a 360 walk around of it. literally petrol, so you just have to fill it up. There is no need or no worry in terms of actually actually plugging it in. You just fill the car up. No electric, no plug-in hybrid. It's just a hybrid. And I think the technology in this car is absolutely outstanding. It's really, really good. And yeah, we go to the side. It is a large car, but I've maneuvered it and got around with it okay, actually. Certainly on the move. And it actually looks quite striking here. We've got a gorgeous day. Yeah, good looks, certainly into the future. And I'm just so passionate to have a petrol engine in there and for it to work in 2024. And to know what sort of like Honda are doing in the technological front, I think is a really, really intriguing point. And yeah, I think that's a big part. You know, here's the looks. You know, this is, you know, I've had this car for, you know, unfortunately got to give the car back to Honda. And actually on the Honda badge, I quite like the blue. You know, it's got it on the front, but it's also got it on the back. You can't really see it either, but it's got like the radar sensing for the cruise control. Yeah, and under that engine, I've done a full video on the engine actually. Check that up on the link up above, where I sort of compared it to potentially the new Honda Prelude, where I just go a little bit more into depth of this because it's a technological wonder from my sort of perspective. Yeah, opening a few things up. We'll start with the boot. Might as well go through there. There you can see the little blue sort of accents there from the Civic. It's looking nice. But if we open it up, you can see in the back, there is loads of space. Now, this is one of the largest class in size from what I've checked. But I think the Skoda Octavia, certainly in the UK, is slightly bigger. I know I have a lot of my US audience as well, so I know some of the models are slightly different, but ultimately this is the same car. You know, maybe slight differences in power and things like that, but yeah, more or less it's the same. And you don't get a through load for like a ski hatch, which is a little bit of a shame. You can fold it all the way down, and I mean, it's massive. And this has like one of these plastic covers too. I love how the parcel shelf just literally folds up like that, and you can clip it in. Very, very easy to then sort of tuck away. Yeah, I think that's quite a cool little feature. But loads of space. I believe in the higher spec models, you get like a subwoofer sort of shown here, and that sort of intrudes a little bit into the space. But without it, I mean, it's massive. You know, I mean, you can easily get bikes in. You can do everything with this kind of car. Space-wise, you've got absolutely no problems. And actually, it works really, really nicely, sort of in that hatch kind of configuration. No electric release on the tailgate. I don't know if that's on the higher spec models. Probably should have checked that. The lights and the design looks really, really special. You can just about see that solar platinum paint there. It's really like a pearlescent paint. Yeah, again, looking very stunning. Starting here with the rear wiper, it only sort of, because the screen's so big, it only actually does a small amount of it. Just as something to kind of note there. I love how this is in body color as well for the aerial. I think that's really, really nice. Yeah, super special. Going into the back, you've really got the tint sort of shown here. I'll have to unlock it, double unlock it, because it's one of those where I've got it set basically so that you can only actually, yeah, open up the front. Space in here is really, really nice, and the quality is also really, really nice too. You've got a couple of USB-Cs. I've got quite long legs, and it feels quite, yeah, it feels absolutely fine. And even the quality back here is still quite good. Quite quality on these sort of side. It's very premium. Yeah, actually, it is really, really premium at the back. And a lot of manufacturers can kind of forget about their rear passengers, but actually, even like on the seats, it feels quite high quality. Yeah, a cloth, but you can get a higher spec model where it's all leather. Now, in terms of like feeling a little bit claustrophobic, it is fully tinted, and you've got these tiny, I mean, they don't really do anything really. And I'm quite tall, but I don't knock my head on the side. You know, I think it's okay from my kind of perspective. I think, yeah, it's nice back here. You know, certainly big enough, easy for two people back here, two adults, one child. You're not going to have a problem because it's quite a wide car. So that is a positive for me at the back. Yeah, I think it's really, really good actually, sort of, yeah, just being back here. And yeah, I've had plenty of sort of like compliments from like, well, the passengers that I've had, yeah, they found it fine. And it's such an intriguing car to kind of be around, particularly when it sets off as well. It's so quiet. But yeah, let's move into the front, because yeah, that is a big part of the car. You've got obviously the door handles there. Yeah, feels good. Big door mirrors. And we'll sit straight in and we'll talk about it. Basically, I feel like I'm a little bit in two minds, because at times I'm sort of like, well, you know, the quality is really, really good in here. That's the main part. I've touched on it before. Listen to this. That is a really good high quality sound. The push of the buttons is really, really nice as well. Down here, all very good. Really, really to touch feel the driving mode. It's like a metally type feel, aluminium feel, aluminum feel. Parking brake feels good. And actually, even on here, it's got such a good texture to it. Something that, you know, you wouldn't really know. It doesn't smudge either. It's a special kind of type. Big cup holders as well. You've got like the wireless charging. I've got my cable here too, for the USB kind of side of things. And then gloss black up here. And the vents are so nice. I love the like honeycomb effect all across there. I think that's super, super nice. And the dash is very good. And even on sort of like the passenger side, you can kind of see a little bit of the gloss black there and the nice sort of areas there. The mats have like this metal sort of feel to it, which I feel is quite high premium. The glove box is quite small actually. This is a press guy. It's not even opened the the manual yet. Yeah, no pan roof, but you can get a pan roof on the higher models. You can get a higher quality sound system as well. The seats, you get a nice little stripe, and there's nice cloth, but with leather on the side, which, yeah, no problems there. The armrest is massive. I've loved leaning and sort of chilling out on here. Really big, loads of space in there, and I think it's cooled as well, which is quite nice. Going onto the wheel, this is where things get a little bit different. I like how basically it feels like a leather type feel, which is good enough. And I love the gloss black sort of around there. But the touch of these buttons, I haven't really liked. That's just from me sort of trying it. I don't mind the ones flicking up and down, but I just feel like they've gone so well with some of the other stuff. And even these buttons feel better. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I'm not too sure. And like the quality here is really good. Like to fold in the mirrors, it's just a good click to it, and really high quality buttons. And I like how you get buttons down here with the traction control and the parking. I think that's really, really high quality. I think on like the stalks feel really, really good. This is a little bit plasticky on some of these, but nothing really to hugely be worried about, you know. But yeah, just some bits are just, it's just that little bit of a thinking. And actually here it's really high quality, but then pushing the buttons on the screen, it's not. Now, before I forget, one thing that I've found really interesting, because it's been quite sunny, is that when you fold down the sun visor, you can see there's a little, you actually might not be able to see. Basically, there is a gap here. And that gap, when the sun is right beaming through here, guess where that goes? Right on the side of your face. So the sun visor blocks off 95%, but then you have this line of sun. So you have to kind of be sort of eking over to the left. That's something that I never thought would have actually been sort of like a thing to notice, but it's just from me living with it. That's what it does. And I believe that's because you can literally fold this out and then tuck this back in. So you literally fold it out and then you can obviously move it over to there. So it needs the space perhaps. But yeah, just something to note about. But the mirror's been really good. Look, you can see me there with the camera. Hello. And it's got a little light to it. And I believe that's on the passenger side as well. Yeah. And yeah, it lights up too, which is quite nice quality. Yeah, up here I haven't really touched or played with anything over there. Mirror's good, but then rear visibility, it's, you know, I haven't really spent that much time looking, because it's such a big car. It's quite a imposing car on the road. But yeah, that's some of the little features to kind of mention. And actually, let's dig in. So you put your foot on the brake and you put the power button. Load her up. I'm going to turn down the aircon and sort of explain a few things. Now, I'm on 4,030 miles at the time of filming this, and I've done about 200 or so miles, and it's sort of saying 55.1 on the average, 302 miles to go. I've got about 3/4 of the tank left, and yeah, it's quite nice. Oh yeah, I nearly forgot. Check this out, yeah? The coolest feature ever. You want to wash your front windscreen? Guess what it does? Check this out. It does it through the actual wipers. Hopefully you caught that. I think that's amazing. You see how it just doesn't leave as much residue? It literally sprays through the blades. Now, I don't know if that affects things when you have to like replace it and stuff, but I just think that's super cool. Really, really, really cool. And a nice little feature that a lot of manufacturers should go for. Again, on the buttons, like this feels not so great. I mean, you hear it clicking around a bit, but it works. And like the volume's really, really good. It's nice to actually have a physical volume button. I've noticed like the connection with the sat nav is really, really nice too. That's been really, really nice. Just in terms of like Android Auto has worked seamlessly. You also get a little bit of the navigation kind of shown there, which is quite nice. Yeah, it just works. It works really, really seamlessly and really, really well. And you've got like things like the power flow, and yeah, your current MPG and your range is kind of shown across here. I think that's really, really nice. The buttons work, the speed works, the trip computer's quite cool. So it's saying 302 miles. You've got like trip A. I've tried to reset this, but sometimes it just doesn't. And it just sort of says it's around 55 miles per gallon. You go to settings and you can reset certain things, which is handy. It's averaging around 440 miles to the 40-litre tank. So I think that's pretty good in terms of range and just, yeah, the ability from there. I think that's super, super positive. And yeah, I think it's really, really great. I think as a technological kind of like masterpiece, I think the way the petrol engine kind of combines with the electric motors, and I'm not going to say I'm the most, I'm not an engineer, but the regen, the way the braking work, the way the car works, it's fantastic. And yeah, check out my engine sort of video as well, as I kind of mentioned before. But yeah, real positives on there. And yeah, I don't have any real sort of major complaints. The car, in my time kind of using it, the assists are quite cool in terms of like the assists there, the lane keeping assists, and just like the safety element of it. I haven't found it too intrusive. Sometimes it pulls you away with the wheel, but it's just the same with all modern cars, really. I'm probably going to forget a few things. So yeah, I tell you what, join me back when I'm standing outside talking about the car. And yeah, if anything else comes to my mind, I will say it there. So yeah, let's join back in future Sam. Yes, in the future. A couple of things that I forgot to mention just in there is sometimes I struggle to shut the boot. Just on occasion, sometimes it's like it doesn't shut as well. That time it obviously did it first time, but I occasionally make myself going like that. Maybe that's just a strength thing. And coming in, I wanted to mention this is a really cool feature. Just can you see there's like that sort of like nubbin, and it's really good for drinks. It just stops things rattling around. It keeps things nice and secure, and it's really, really good. It's just the little things which you wouldn't really notice unless you sort of like spent a lot of time with the car. And oh yeah, of course, there's another final thing. I finally learned how to reset the trip computer. So let me just start her up. And basically, if you didn't know how to reset the trip computer, you can turn it off by using on the dials there. Turn off the air conditioning. The trip computer here, it said reset. I don't know if you can see it with the light. Apologies if this is going to go a little bit sideways, but I'm going to move the camera in as close as I can. There you go. Can you see how it says reset? Well, basically to reset it, you push down this button, which is what I didn't know before. And that resets either trip A or trip B on the trip computer. Now on trip B, in the last 13.1 miles, I'm doing 63.4 mpg. I've got this car for a little bit longer actually, so what I'll do is I'll give more of a economy test, and I'll put it in the comments basically. So yeah, that's the main thing. But yeah, now back to kind of like the full review. So my time with the Honda Civic is coming to an end. I hope you've enjoyed all those clips and features around the car. I've really enjoyed my time kind of living with this, and yeah, I've driven it at this point up to about 200 miles. And yeah, it's just been such a good car. I've been blown away by the technology of the engine, the 2-litre, how it works, the sophistication in the hybrid technology that Honda have kind of produced. It looks gorgeous, by the way, in this solar platinum white paint. 100% I can recommend. It just looks stunning. Yeah, the car has just been that one car that can just work. I've enjoyed just kind of wafting around for it, and journeys in like traffic and stuff. I've actually sort of relished the automatic gearbox. It doesn't even really have a gearbox. It just sort of seamlessly wafts along. That electric sort of punch off the line is great. the economy has been brilliant sort of like at slow speeds as well, which is normally it's the other way around rather than highway. It's sort of like in urban areas, it's been fantastic. And yeah, you only kind of get that by living with the car for a week. And I know there's people on here who do own this car. So do get involved in the comments. You know, it is a community channel. And that's what's going to help a lot of people out sort of checking back on the car and just understanding whether or not it's the right purchase to kind of go for. It's certainly a car that I can 100% recommend, certainly in my time going for it. And I feel that the technology part of it is probably the big point. A lot of functional parts, and actually a lot of parts that actually put a lot of other manufacturers to shame. Honda are really sort of like raising their game in certain regards, and that's been impressive. I'm going to be super sad to kind of hand this back to Honda actually, having had it for a week. I've really got that good understanding of the car. I feel like the top spec model with the full leather seats, the higher sound system and the panoramic roof also offers quite a good alternative, but you still get that same engine, that same sort of power. I'm also super intrigued as well of what it's like for you guys across the pond in America, in the US, in Canada, how you kind of like these Civics, because I know it's slightly different, but overall the cars are very, you know, cross-pollinated at the end of the day, and they're quite similar to the ones in the UK. Yeah, I feel it's been a great experience, and it's been great to have you along as well, because I've learned a lot from you guys about the car. And yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of, experiencing more from Honda as well. It's a brand that I haven't really got stuck into, and now that I have, I'm sort of like, wow, if this is the baseline, what is to come in the future? You look at the Honda Prelude, potentially the concept, and yeah, just the technology in that side. And I know they're forming a bit of an alliance with other sort of Japanese manufacturers in terms of around EVs. So yeah, all that kind of combined makes, yeah, a really sort of promising prospect. And this car, can I recommend it? Yes, I can recommend it. I've got to crouch down because I don't know if I'm too tall for the camera. Yeah, Honda Civic, top work. Yeah, if you're considering it, yeah, I would 100% go for it. I feel it's a brilliant car. It's really, really suited my needs. Just trying to think of some other like last little bits to kind of tell you. I suppose if I think about it, I would say it's still quite a wide and a big car, so on narrow roads it can get a little bit difficult. Some of the assists have felt a little bit too intrusive, but that is like the lane keeping assists and all of that. It's sort of like pulling the wheel, but that's a lot with a lot of manufacturers now. I'd rather have more control, but that's just subjective to me. You know, I have a manual VW Golf R, so I like my control. But that aside, it's just a great car, and I felt more of a sense of this makes more sense in the future. Like there's been other EVs around, like the Polestar, or like you've got Teslas, and I prefer being in this. You get the advantages of just setting off in silence with this nice little whir around. The engine kicks in every now and then as like a generator. And yeah, I've just been like, really sort of like taken back by it actually. And yeah, I hope my real world kind of review has helped you out. And I have had previous videos as well on the car, a few point of views as well. And yeah, also I've sort of done like my initial collection bit of the car. So check back on those if you want to see it. And yeah, subscribe. I've got plenty more content to come, and it is a community channel, so do get involved in the comments, and I kind of welcome you to kind of subscribe for future content to come. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Hope it's sunny where you are, and yeah, see you again next time. Cheers, guys. So my final drive, I've literally just finished it up, and I'm on 4,117 miles. And basically I picked up the car 3,870 miles. So around about 240, 250 miles I've done. And yeah, Honda collecting the car tomorrow morning. So this will be my last proper drive. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the economy and how much I love this screen here. This screen is amazing. You've got your current MPG shown there and your range, and obviously your range can change and it can dictate. So this is a little bit of an economy update basically. If you drive slow it can go up, if you drive fast it can go down. I reset the trip computer, as you know, and I don't know how much you can see because the sun and the glare, it's quite difficult. But I reset it and it's basically saying 55.9 MPG with 203 miles left. Now, if I've done about 250 miles, that gives a range between 450 and 500. I've pretty much had the car in sport mode the whole way, and I've been having a little bit of fun. I had traction control off as well, just to have a little bit of, yeah, just to see what the car was kind of like. So real world, yeah, you can, I believe you can get that kind of economy. And yeah, I'm going to be really sad to say goodbye to the car, and I hope you've enjoyed this kind of like in-depth review, and I hope I've given as much of a, yeah, there's so many more things. That's how my mind works. There's so many more things I can kind of say. The one thing I want to say, the self-cancel on the indicator stalks, I wish it didn't self-cancel so easily. Volkswagen do a little bit of a better job on that side, but on the whole, oh, what a car, what a special car, and I'm really going to miss it, really going to miss my time in Honda Civic Sport. And yeah, I've absolutely loved it. And yeah, if you want to check out another video, it'll be up there, and yeah, if you want to subscribe, it'll be there. That just allows more opportunities. And yeah, it's been really great, and plenty quick enough as well. A few people commented and sort of said, oh, do some 0 to 60, do some night driving, do lots of things. I can only do so much and fit it into the week. Car does look good in the night. It is quick enough for normal day-to-day use. Yeah, really good. And yeah, sad to see it go, really sad to see it go, but happy to welcome more people to the channel as well. So yeah, thanks for getting involved, and yeah, comment below, and yeah, have a great one, and have a great summer as well. And yeah, I wish you all well.